Why would a man who has mastered the most advanced science on Earth consistently choose his simplest tools over his most powerful inventions? Most fans see Batman's gear as just a collection of cool gadgets, but there is actually a deep, hidden logic to how his equipment is tiered. By breaking down his arsenal into specific variables and scales, we can uncover a secret hierarchy that evolves from basic tactical gear to autonomous, planet-threatening machines. Each tier in this hierarchy is designed for a specific purpose, moving from localized control to global dominance. But as we explore this ladder of technology, a surprising truth comes to light. The higher the tier, the less often it's used. This suggests that in the world of the Dark Knight, raw power isn't the only metric that matters. To see how this progression begins, and why the most basic gear remains the backbone of his operation, we have to start at the foundation of his tactical lineage. To understand the Batarang's place in the hierarchy, we have to look at the specific variables that define its performance scales. It all starts with the variable of neutralization capacity, where the Batarang hits a scale of localized meta. While it looks like a simple gadget, the data shows it's packed with high-tier counters. For instance, Batman has deployed Batarangs emitting 10,000 volts, specifically to take down powerhouses like Frankenstein and Atomic Skull. He even keeps ninth metal versions on hand to deal with ethereal threats like ghosts. This proves that while the impact is localized to a single target or a small radius, the stopping power is legitimately meta-human grade. However, the effectiveness of that power is entirely dependent on the variable of operational architecture, which sits at a scale of manual direct. Unlike Batman's more automated systems, the Batarang's origin is rooted in pure skill. Ever since boomerang expert Lee Collins helped him capture a criminal, Batman has refined the tool to function as a perfect aerodynamic projectile. Because it is designed to return to the thrower and requires precise kinetic input to hit a target's weak point, the tech can't do anything without the user's direct physical intervention. It is the ultimate extension of Batman's own hands, but it lacks the independent agency seen in his later inventions. This leads us to the variable of tactical adaptation, where the Batarang operates on a scale of fixed utility. You might see a huge variety of Batarangs, some filled with acid that explodes on contact, others acting as smoke grenades for quick distractions, but each individual unit is a one-and-done tool. Once a smoke Batarang is thrown, it can't suddenly decide to become an electric one. It has a fixed purpose. While this makes the Batarang a masterpiece of manual versatility, it represents the baseline of Batman's arsenal. Building on the manual utility of the Batarang, what happens when Batman needs to scale up his arsenal to face the world's most powerful superhero team? This is where the Justice Buster armor, also known as the Fenrir, comes into play, shifting the variable of neutralization capacity to a definitive scale of league level. This isn't just a generic power suit. It's a masterclass in anti-meta warfare, designed specifically to neutralize every core member of the Justice League. The data is clear on this. The suit features a bind of veils to trap Wonder Woman in a state of delusion, a frictionless magnesium carbonate spray to make the Flash lose his footing, an electromagnetic nerve map for Cyborg, and citrine lighting to disrupt Green Lantern's brain. Even Superman isn't safe, as the suit deploys red giants, miniaturized suns that pump out the exact radiation needed to bring him down. While the Batarang is a tool you throw, the Justice Buster shifts the variable of operational architecture to a much more complex scale of integrated piloted. This suit is an extension of Batman himself, but on a massive scale. To use its offensive and defensive capabilities, Batman has to be physically inside the cockpit. He's the one directing those red giant knuckles for physical strikes and managing the plasma shields that are built to deflect heat vision, like that used by Superman. It's an intimate connection between man and machine, where every move the suit makes is a direct result of the pilot's physical presence and input within the system. What makes this armor truly terrifying, though, is how it handles the variable of tactical adaptation, reaching the scale of strategic exploitation. Rather than trying to out-punch a god with raw strength, the suit wins by knowing exactly where it hurts. It exploits physiological and psychological flaws, like using the bind of veils as the opposite of the lasso of truth, or utilizing the red solar radiation that Superman is uniquely vulnerable to. It represents the peak of Batman's prep time philosophy, turning a target's own powers against them. However, as advanced as a piloted suit is, it's still limited to where Batman physically stands. To see how he expanded this logic to cover the entire planet at once, we have to look at the transition from a tactical suit to the all-seeing orbital oversight of Brother Eye. What happens when the logic of neutralizing a specific team isn't enough, and you feel the need to watch the entire world instead? This is where Brother Eye takes the stage, pushing the variable of neutralization capacity to a massive scale of global omnidirectional. While the Justice Buster was about fighting whoever was directly in front of Batman, Brother Eye is an all-seeing artificial intelligence orbiting the Earth. It doesn't just target one hero. The data shows it was designed to spy on the entire superhuman community, and eventually began a systematic purge of every metahuman on the planet. Its reach isn't limited by a cockpit or a throwing arm. It scales to encompass the entire globe simultaneously, making it a planetary tier threat. To manage this kind of reach, the variable of operational architecture moves to a scale of network command. Batman didn't build this to be a suit he wears. He built it as a central intelligence that remains in orbit while unleashing the OMACs to act as its physical agents. These OMACs are actually humans infected with a high-tech nanovirus that the satellite uses as its eyes and ears on the ground. It's a distributed network where the brain stays safe in space, while the limbs are everywhere at once, executing the Central Command's directives through a global community of infected hosts. This global efficiency is powered by the variable of tactical adaptation at a scale of modular variable. Brother Eye doesn't just use one fixed weapon. It uses its satellite to gather information on every metahuman in the world, specifically documenting their unique powers, identities, and weaknesses. This allows the system to vary its tactical approach for each specific target, switching between modules of data to ensure the most effective method is used for a systematic purge. It's a terrifyingly flexible system, yet it still relies on a network of external agents. To see what happens when this level of intelligence and lethality is condensed into a single, independent body that can think and evolve on its own, this brings us to the absolute apex of Batman's defensive engineering, Failsafe. This machine pushes the variable of neutralization capacity to the ultimate scale of global omnidirectional. While Brother Eye required a global network of OMACs to enforce its will, Failsafe is a singular unit capable of defeating the entire Justice League, including Superman, and simultaneously taking over Gotham City while fighting off the Bat family and the League at the same time. The secret to this dominance lies in the variable of operational architecture, which reaches the scale of autonomous sentience. Unlike the Justice Buster, which required Batman to pilot it, or Brother Eye, which acted as a remote command center for infected hosts, Failsafe is an android that possesses its own artificial intelligence. It was built by the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, a backup personality of Bruce Wayne, to act as a definitive failsafe in case Batman ever took a life. Because it is a self-aware, independent entity, it doesn't need instructions, a pilot, or a network to function. It is a sentient program with a single, unswerving mission that operates entirely outside of Batman's current conscious control. Finally, we see the most dangerous part of this machine in the variable of tactical adaptation, which hits the scale of iterative evolution. Failsafe was designed to be better than Batman, ensuring it is faster, stronger, and smarter than any human. It isn't just a machine with a set of preloaded tools. It is an unstoppable machine that can adapt to any situation in real time. When it faced Superman, for example, it didn't just pick a single gadget. It evolved its strategy to use a lethal combination of kryptonite and red solar energy. This ability to continuously evolve its tactics to meet and exceed the power of any opponent makes Failsafe the final word in tier scaling, moving beyond simple gadgets or specialized suits into a category of technological life that is designed to never be outthought or outfought. If Batman has access to an autonomous, sentient machine that can take down the whole Justice League, why does he still spend most of his nights throwing a piece of metal by hand? It seems like a contradiction. The Batarang sits at the very bottom of our technological scales, yet it's the most frequent choice in his arsenal. First, we have to consider the principle of minimal escalation. While the Justice Buster provides a league-level neutralization capacity, deploying that kind of power against a common carjacker would be catastrophic for the city. The Batarang's localized metascale is the sweet spot for 90% of Batman's work. It provides exactly enough power to neutralize a threat without causing the massive collateral damage associated with high-tier systems like Brother Eye. In the world of crime fighting, the goal is often to de-escalate, and the Batarang is the perfect tool for measured response. Then there's the issue of deployment velocity. In a split-second street fight, the manual direct operational architecture of a Batarang is unbeatable. Batman doesn't have to wait for a network command satellite to sync, or for an integrated piloted suit to power up its plasma shields. A Batarang is ready as fast as his arm can move. The more complex the technology, the slower the startup time usually becomes, making the low-tech option the most viable for the immediate, unpredictable nature of urban combat. We also can't ignore strategic sustainability. Maintaining a fleet of OMACs or the miniaturized suns within a power suit requires massive financial and technical resources. Because Batarangs are built with a fixed utility scale, they are sustainable for a long-term war on crime. They can be mass-produced and replaced easily, unlike the one-of-a-kind autonomous sentience found in Failsafe. Using the most expensive and complex tool for every minor job is a quick way to exhaust resources, even for a billionaire. Finally, the Batarang offers a tactical versatility paradox. By carrying different variants like acid, electric, or smoke versions, Batman achieves a high degree of flexibility without the risks inherent in higher-tier tech. He gets the benefits of multiple tactical options without handing over control to an independent AI that might undergo iterative evolution in dangerous ways. By sticking to these manual, fixed utility tools, he ensures that the ultimate decision-making stays entirely in his hands,